Hi everybody, this is James from Eating Our Asses Off, and I have a quarantine beard as you can tell, so I am a little hairier than usual. But whatever, this is quarantine life. I today am going to make a mix of the Misadventures of the Mister, along with just some grilling meats for the week. The Misadventures part is I'm going to attempt to make baked beans on the grill, and I've never done it before. And from what I'm hearing, I'm using the wrong kind of beans, but whatever, as part of the Misadventures to see what we can do and what we can rectify. And I'm also going to show how I make a lot of meat all at once for the whole week. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm starting on the baked beans, and as y'all know, beans are not keto, so this is definitely not a keto meal. It's much more hopefully low carb. Obviously, it depends what your metrics are on what is keto and what isn't keto or low carb and all that. But what I plan on doing is one onion, finely chopped in my opinion. Sabrina will say that's nowhere near finely chopped, but we'll pretend. I have some kidney beans, black beans, and then another version of kidney beans that are just darker. I'm going to use this as my barbecue sauce, sweet and spicy. Plan on putting some garlic in here, some mustard, and I got some Lakanto brown sugar for that fake brown sugar. Plan on putting all these things in here. I don't know quantities just yet, except I do know the 1 onion and 3 cans of beans, because I'm making this up as I go. Alright, so here we go. Adding in the onions to my grilling dish here. Totally not a bread pan. Ignore that. Adding in some beans. More beans. Give it some variety. And even some more beans. All these beans were pretty well drained. So I'm going to make up for that by adding in barbecue sauce. Just probably going to do the whole jar here because this is looking kind of dry. So 1 jar of sweet and spicy G-Hughes. Then I am going to do, let's call this a teaspoon. Okay, I guess I'll use an official teaspoon of mustard. Oh, yeah, ignore that. Give it a little bit of a kick. This is actually half a teaspoon, so I'll do it twice, since I want a teaspoon. And then I am going to do a tablespoon. You should see my wife's face right now. She's like an utter whore.
But you used all of my favorite barbecue sauce.
I can buy that again. So 2 tablespoons.
Still though.
I decided to double it up because Sabrina has to try this and make it a little exciting. And then I wanted to do a little brown sugar. I know Hughes is sweet and spicy, but I want it to be a little extra sweet. So we'll say 1/2 of a half a cup. Non-math people at the 1/4 of a cup. Okay, so now I just stir this all up, and then I'm gonna let it sit and kind of soak up itself, if that makes any sense, for about an hour or 2 hours. And then I'm going to cover this in some tin foil, throw it on my grill, and let it slow cook. While that's cooking, I'm also going to throw in some meat, not in here obviously, but throw it into the grill and cook some meat, and you'll see all that on camera too. So let me finish stirring this, covering it, and then be ready for the grill. See y'all in a bit. Alright, and for today's meat that I'm going to be cooking on the grill today, I got bacon, some Bratz Original, bun-size ballpark hot dogs, Nathan's bun-length hot dogs, steaks, chicken, and boneless pork belly. And yes, I know I got multiple types of hot dogs, but y'all know I love hot dogs, so I'm going to make a lot because I eat a lot of them. And yes, bacon and pork belly are very similar because bacon is actually a pork belly, but pork belly itself is not always bacon, so it is different. Gonna hopefully make some fried crackling out of that. Okay, so this is all going on the grill while I cook my beans, if not after. Stay tuned. Alright, and for the steak, you can see I have salt and pepper on here. And I also added some garlic and this other stuff in this organic no salt seasoning. There's a bunch of ingredients in it, but the big thing on here is the garlic. So kind of like when an SPG kind of mixed salt, pepper, garlic. And so I just did that to both sides for the steak. Let it sit out for a little bit and then I'll start cooking it. For the chicken, I'm going to marinate it in some Primal Kitchen classic barbecue sauce. And so I'm just going to let this sit in here for about an hour, hour and a half. And then this is also going to go on the grill once everything's all hot and ready. I do have some homegrown parsley that I'm going to throw in here too, just for fun. Alright. Alright, and our last little bit of preparation, be getting a dry rub on my belly. Oh my god, what's it called? Oh. Alright, my last step here now will be getting a dry rub on the pork belly. Pretty simple. Got my garlic and pepper. Just going to add some salt to it. Almost forgot. And it's simple enough. You're just going to put layers in here and just keep stacking as you go. So we just do this. Make a layer. Then I add some more. Just go right on over it. And I just keep piling on like lasagna style, and that's it. Once this is done, make sure my grill is temped right, and I'm gonna throw all the meat on there. That's next. All right, we got the grill just kicked on the charcoals. Gonna let them kind of cook down for a second. Nice and hot. All the meat's ready to go. All of them are prepped and organized. Don't know what order I'm gonna cook it yet. Probably cook the ones that take the longest. So maybe my steaks and fat back and stuff first, or pork belly, I mean. I'm gonna add my wood chips in towards once all this calms down, to have that nice little wood chip smell in there. But yeah, we're about ready to get going. Steak and chicken down first. Steak on the flame side, chicken on the non-charcoal side. And then I'll flip them over when they're about halfway done. Alright, everything's been flipped over. Still have the steak on that flame side of the fire. Chicken on the foil. I'm going to about 5 more minutes. I'm going to take it off. I really don't know what I'm going to put on next because I'm kind of making this up. I don't really know the proper order. But I'm thinking I'm going to do the hot dogs on the open flame section and get that char. And then I'm going to do some bacon on the foil. And let the grease kind of drip over. Give it a little kind of spark. Because the bacon kind of can ignite. Yeah, I'm going to do all the hot dogs separately, and then I'm going to finally cook off the beans and the pork belly at the very end. From now on, I'm just going to show you clips of me cooking everything until the final finished product. Hot dogs and beans, all that's left. In case you can't tell, I'm missing the foil on the right here. Had a bit of a bacon incident. Apparently I'm not good at cooking bacon. It kind of caught on fire. So I did throw that away. I only wasted about 3 or 4 pieces of bacon, fortunately. And I decided not to cook the pork belly out here because that's even fattier. And apparently I don't know what I'm doing. So all I got left is the hot dogs and the beans, and then we'll go inside. And here we are, final product. Tons of sausages and hot dogs. Some lightly burnt hot dogs when the bacon got out of control and almost burnt the house down. Chicken. Got some steak hiding back here. One's medium well. And then my baked beans, the whole misadventures of the mister. I'm going to get a small little tiny bit for Sabrina. She's going to give it a taste and tell us how good or bad the baked beans are. Here's hoping. Alright, we are here with another Misadventures of the Mister. And I made what looks to be really good and smells good to me, some baked beans.
Nice and strong. A little barbecue baked beans, to be honest. But let's see what Sabrina thinks. You want to do your food sense thing?
So first of all, it doesn't look like baked beans. I'll tell you that much.
I baked them, and they're beans. It's a 3-bean bake.
It doesn't look like baked beans.
Grilled baked beans.
Who's talking right now? It's me, right? I tried to sniff it and it cleared my sinuses, so I don't think I'm going to go in for a second sniff of that. I'm not really sure what you put in this, but I'm nervous. I also just want to point out that this is what you did to my hot dogs.
Slightly burnt.
So not edible. And then these are your hot dogs.
I mean, the bacon got a little out of control and burnt and kind of caught fire.
I know. I saw the entire fire outside.
Luckily, it was outside.
Right where I was sitting. Until I came inside like 30 seconds before that.
So, everybody's safe. Look, texture.
So yeah, it doesn't look like baked beans. So I wouldn't tell anybody that you made baked beans because then they might be confused. But
Okay.
I mean, other than that, it looks like a bean
A grilled bean.
soup.
Maybe the beans will suck up the juice
I don't
later.
know what to say. I don't know what to say it looks like. It really
Okay.
looks like soup, I
Well,
guess.
tell me what it tastes like.
These big old chunks of onion.
Good luck. I finally iced them, by the way.
No, you didn't. Okay. I'm gonna say this. The onion, no thank you. The rest of the flavor, it tastes like baked beans.
Yes!
I would just say that you need a different type of bean because those beans are not they're not soft enough. Like they're not getting that like almost mushy feel.
Okay. But so if I just swap out to the proper bean, because I had the wrong bean, obviously.
Yeah, I think your sauce is right though. I think your sauce is good. Those onions need to be cut up. Let's be honest, you
I told
peeled an
folks-
onion and then you put it in there.
I told everybody earlier on that I did the onion too big for you. I was on a time crunch.
No, you were not.
It took all day to do all this cooking.
Oh my god. Anyway,
At least you got meat prepared for the next week
Who
and
has
a
meat?
half.
not me.
You got chicken?
I don't want chicken. I just wanted hot dogs.
I'll buy another pack. I'll cook them properly for you this time, without bacon this time. And you will notice that I did not make the pork belly. After seeing the disaster with the bacon, I decided not to risk it on the grill because the pork belly is even fattier and thus more likely to catch on fire.
I literally walked inside, put my cup down, and by the time I looked up, everything was ablaze outside, and he was running around with something on fire.
A little
I think
dramatic.
it was the bacon on foil. And then he threw it across the chair where I had just been sitting.
I walked it
onto
past the
floor.
chair and stomped it out.
And so then when I went outside, the stomping took a while too, because I watched that whole thing. And then when I went outside, there's a giant char mark on the floor where he threw it on the floor to stomp it out. And then the whole patio is like covered in some like, I guess it's grease. I don't know.
It's some bacon grizzle. I can get that off later. Anyways, sign us off, please.
So this has been quite the adventure on eating our asses off. And luckily we're both still alive and we kind of have baked beans. And James has lots of hot dogs to eat.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.